Hey, all, hope you're doing well. Over the weekend, hope you had a great fourth. For those of you in the US, if not, hope you had a good longer weekend without me. Um, so, looking at Bitcoin, what do we have potential things brewing here? So, a lot of people will expect, a fail, right? Just rinse and repeat, and we continue back down. But there is a glimmer, a shard of maybe bottom patterns forming and a bigger bottom pattern than some are aware of. So it's known as maybe a double bottom, right? Not saying we can't go lower, right? Just the potential is there for something bigger. What if anybody gets what this pattern is? I'd be very impressed. We're potentially looking at a Adam and Eve bottom. What the hell is that? I'm glad you asked. And this is looking more and more like it could be taking out. And this would actually confirm if we could kind of take out, 21.5 area, get above the 21-day EMA. Then this has the potential to, this would likely recover all the way back up to here, somewhere around this area, 27.5 to 31.5. Potential moonshot on the horizon if we can close above 21.5. That's a big if, so you got to remember that part. Now, Adam and Eve bottom, right? You have this sharp downturn, right? You can take the guesses of why it's called this, okay? And then you have this very soft, gentle bottom here, right? Like this. So you have like kind of this spike down, and then this kind of prolonged, drawn out more or something like this, okay? And I believe I found you a little pattern. Doesn't that look almost identical? So far, we're kind of right in this area, right? So we have, this hasn't confirmed. We need to take out that top that I just kind of looked at right here. So we need to take this out, but we're pretty close here of this playing out, and this would catch a lot of people off guard. I don't know if anyone expected us to not just continue down, myself included, really, sideways or down, and we're still there, right? We haven't confirm this. Even if this plays out, there's no guarantee. Just the odds would simply go up that, we go up to 27, 28K. So we'll see if that happens. Now, we also have some other bigger things happening that we haven't really seen in a while. One, we are potentially working on our second consecutive day, closing above the 8-day EMA. You note there, right on it, there's one, and we close right back under it, right? So that was June 25th. That was our only closing day above the EMA 8. Before that, you have kind of these areas, right? So you got one right there. We not only closed above the 8, we closed 2 days above the 21 as well. Hold at the EMA 34, which is that orange line right there. And then we did it again right there, which we've talked about, right? This should look very familiar to you. So, but we haven't had any kind of a test or a double close since we've had this much separation. What do I mean by that? Is, after you have, major divergence of your moving averages, it's often much more difficult, much more meaningful if you start to get, those multiple closes. See how close they are here? The EMA 8 and the 21. Even all of these are very close. Look at the separation here, right? So the distance between here and here is much greater than right here to here, right? Look at the difference. Hopefully you're catching that. So just those are all things you want to be using in the back of your mind. They'll keep you many steps ahead of the crowd. So so if you're longing, right, you're long at support, which, we kind of started to form our support down here. I know it's difficult to do because it seems like you're just going to fall down. But it's basically, to become a pro, you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. So, doing things based on how the book says to do it usually is the exact opposite of how your mind says you should do it. So, are we at support or resistance now? No. Resistance coming up at 21.3. So that is the area, right? We could possibly kind of hit this double top area if that plays out again, kind of right in there, right? Or at least on the daily, right? So that would likely be very close to the 21-day. So, if you're playing the short game, somewhere around 21.3 is probably going to be where you'd want to go with a tight stop loss. 20, maybe 22K as your stop loss, something like that. That would also kind of be right around these closing candles, right? So you just look for multiple touch points, right? That's your resistance. And if we break through that, then we have a legit shot of, you know, getting really bullish, right? Because remember the image. Look at all the greens that take place. That will likely continue if this plays out. So let's wait and see. But wanted to bring that to your attention on this fine Tuesday. So let me know if you have any questions, want to see something else. Oh, if this plays out for Bitcoin, you can bet that some alts are going to get, you know, jumping or I don't know what I'm, you know, get antsy. Cheetah runs. I don't know. You get me, right? Look at Matic. Look at Engine, right? 6%, 7%. That'll continue across the board if we can get Bitcoin to kind of start breaking out here. So most everything else is calm besides those two. So if Bitcoin starts to get close above 21.5, if it closes above the 21-day yellow line, yeah, I would bet that altcoins, this will be, you know, 5, 7, 10%. Would be pretty standard across the board here, but you could see everything's a little bit hesitant still. That would, you know, Bitcoin dominance is back down a bit, right? It's not at 50%, right? It's back down to low 40s. So the only hesitation here is the DXY is continuing up. So the DXY is should make you a little cautious here, because I don't know what we got, but it's looking rather bullish, right? That's what we've talked about, and we just had a breakout yet again today. So watch this close. If we close up here, I mean, the odds are this is still going to hurt crypto. So we're still kind of on, you know, a teeter-totter. Let's go with that. But we're on the verge of something happening here. So we're either going to, I would say, you know, one or two things. We're either going to come up to 21 and then reject hard. So price something like that over the next, you know, this week, or we'll somehow, you know, mess around with this and then break out and then, you know, really catch everyone off guard again. And then we're going to want to, you know, rethink our next resistance points. Probably going to be somewhere in this area, but we'll get to that if we get to it. This week's probably going to have some kind of a breakout up or breakout, you know, way down. I'd say maybe 2 weeks. But I would say within 2 weeks, we'll have either visited, you know, 16K or 25K. I would say within the next, you know, mid-July, July 15th, July 16th, something in there, we'll have either been to 25 or 16. So we're still kind of on the edge here, but potential Adam and Eve double bottom playing out, which, you know, that's usually pretty good for the bulls. We just haven't confirmed it yet, so we're waiting on that. Let me know if you have any questions. You can see this kind of resistance as I'm looking at it here. You can kind of see right in there is kind of a resistance zone here. These lows here, these highs here, really need to get above 22.2. So stop loss, if you're shorting somewhere in there, stop loss just above that would probably make sense. That'll be our zone. If you see prices anywhere above like 22.5, this is much greater chance of coming up higher.